All right, we move to the next section of vectors, which is addition of vectors. Okay, addition of vectors. Now, in your textbook, they are divided into three: the graphical the graphical method, vectorial method, parallelogram method. I'll only do these two because that is where they will ask you from in your exam. Okay, now let's start with vectorial method. Vectorial method of additions of vector. Now, what does vectorial method of vector tells you? Now, the vectorial method of adding vector is just by the means of adding all the vectors in moving in the same direction, adding them together. That is just vectorial method of vector. When you add how can you use this method? This method is all about adding all the vectors in the same direction. That is just it. You add all the vector in the x axis together, you add all the vector in the y axis together, you also add all the vector in the z axis together. Yes. Yeah. So that is just it. Okay. Now this is an example. Okay, now how can we add these two vectors? Now remember, okay, let me just tell you. If you see a symbol, let's say you see a symbol C and they placed like something like this, know that this is a vector. This thing here you see here represent the direction. Okay, yeah. While this letter represent the magnitude or the amount. Okay, so it's nothing. Okay, now you look at this two look at this two vectors in the board and they'll tell you calculate what is the resultant vector. Resultant means net vector, or in simple term, resultant means total. Yes. So they ask us now, what is total vector? If you add these two, remember addition of vectors, adding vectors to get the total. When you add two or more things together, you have what? The total. Yes. So adding these two vector, what is the total? That's what they are telling us to look for. What is the total? Or what is the resultant? Resultant means total. Okay. So it's very easy. How can I add this using the vectorial method? We will need to add all of them, adding the x axis together. Also add all of them, adding the y axis together. That is just it. Now, look at these two vector. Which let's start with this one. 5i. Let's take I to be the x axis. 5i. Then you look at this one minus 6j. If you go to the next one, minus 1i, then 2j. These two, we add these two together, and we also add these two together. If we add them together, we look for the resultant to get everything. Okay. Now let's add these two together. It's like this. You can say the resultant. If you want to do, you can say you can say the resultant is equals to root. Now you add these two together, then you take the square. Now let's do it. 5i, 5i plus, because we are adding, plus, now this 1i, it's carry minus symbol. So minus 1i, bracket close, all okay, we'll take the square, then plus these two are also going in the same direction. They are acting in the same direction. And this JJ, I don't know if you understand. You see this one, well, they are moving in the same direction. JJ, they are moving in the same direction. So we have those ones that are moving in the same direction. That is vectorial method. That is just it. Now minus 6j plus 2j. That is just it. Bracket open, minus 6j plus what? Plus 2j, bracket close. Then you take the square. Then you take the square. Okay, let's continue. R equals to root 5 plus minus 1. It's still the same thing as 5 minus 1. 5 minus 1 will give us what? 4. Okay. Square, then plus minus 6 plus 2. That will give us minus 4, if I'm not mistaken. That will give us minus 4. Then you take the square. You can leave You can just abandon the symbol, that is the I. You can abandon them, okay? It's not important anymore, okay? So arrow equals to the square of 4 is 16. Then plus, what about the square of minus 4? The square of a negative, take note, the square of a negative number will give you a positive number. I don't know if you understand. The square of minus 1 means that you multiply minus 4 times minus 4. This will cancel this. So 4 times 4 give you 16. So the square of a negative number will surely give you a positive number, okay? So this will give us 16. Adding these two, we have 32. So r equals to root 32. The square root of 32 um give us 5.66. That is just it. Yeah, that is just it. Okay? Yeah. Now, that is just it. But just all the vectors moving in the same direction, add them. All the vectors moving in the other direction, add them. Then take the square. After taking the square, take the square root. That is just it. Now, if they want to trick you in some of the question, they can just give you something like this. They will say A, for example, equals to, let's say bracket open, minus 2j, and let me say 2k, bracket close. Then vector B equals to, let me say 2i, comma, 4j, then minus 1k, or let me do, okay, finish. Now, how are you going to solve this? How are you going to do this? It's still exactly the same way, okay? Now, if you look at this first one, they didn't give us I. There's no I. Look at this last one, there's no K. So you still solve like that, okay? The I is 0. That is just it. So how are we going to do it? We're looking for the resultant. Just do it like this. Arrow equals to root. Okay? Now, I told you guys that we had all the vectors acting in this direction together. All the vectors acting in this direction together. That's just it. Now, there's no vector acting in the I direction. So we just take only this one. Finish. 0 plus 2I will give us 2. So that is just, we just do like this. Bracket open, 2I square. Because there's no 1 in this place. So we continue. Then plus, now J, we add all the vectors acting what in that direction. So it's to be like this: minus 2j, then plus what 4j, then the square, then plus the last part 2k. Look at B. B does not have k, it's 0. So just we always do it like this: 2k or square. It's easy. Okay. So square of 2 is 4. Then plus minus 2 plus 4 will give us plus 2. Yes, minus 2 plus 4 will give us plus 2. Then, yeah, okay, 2 square will give us 4. Let's continue. Plus 2 square again will give us 4. Adding everything to give us, I think will give us 12. Yeah, give us 12. Now, the square of 12 is what? Square of 12 is 3.46. 3.46. So this is how to add vector using vectorial method. Now let's move to how to add vector using parallelogram method.